not attempt to adjust your tracking. Join our host as he delves into a treasure trove of VHS tapes, video tasties, some of the most obscure, strange, and wonderful VHS that time has to offer. So please tune in on youtube.com for Video Tasties, protecting the past one VHS at a time. Brought to you by the You Run Podcast Network.
What up, everybody? Welcome to Greg Hasn't Seen It. A little fucking side quest off of the You Gonna Eat That Crust podcast and all these other bad motherfuckers podcast. You know me, Fatback Supreme on the ones and twos. You know they call me Shed Lasso. It's fucking Ryan Wilson. Also with me tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the sweatpants overlord, follically challenged himself, mustache better than Bennett's, Greg Hoey. Greg, hi.
I was looking in the mirror. I had to blow off some steam, so, you know.
Also with us tonight, the Prince of Pop Culture, the Pride of Pennsylvania. He hates Philadelphia and everyone who lives there. Mr. Color Me Bad himself. It's J-Pop Supreme Justin. What's good, baby?
Hey, baby. And yes, I hate everything Philadelphia, and you can leave that in.
That's right. If you live in Philadelphia and you listen to his podcast, stop. He doesn't like you.
It threw batteries at Santa Claus.
And also from the banks of Dewey Lake, serving hot takes and hot dogs, Denzines of Detroit, the love child of Ray Don Chong and John Voight, the host of the Dewey Pod-Monster podcast, Sean and John Bon Jovi. What's up, boys?
Howdy. I also hate Philadelphia, specifically the Eagles, and I hate the band the Eagles too, so it's a good balance.
Man, fuck the Eagles.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Greg, you've seen The Big Lebowski?
Yes, I have.
Thank Christ you've seen a movie.
I've seen a lot of movies. I just focus on like cat people in The Big Lebowski.
They were just mostly A24, that's all.
Yeah.
It's the new release wall. That's all it is.
When I went to shows, I would just do the straight Lebowski and do all White Russians, and it was great for the stomach. I'll just say that.
Such a bad hangover.
It's horrible.
It's hard to look tough drinking a milk-based liquor drink, too.
Yeah, milk was a bad choice.
It helps if you're wearing jellies in a bathrobe, though.
For sure. Everyone knows not to fuck with you.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on, guys. It's great to see you. You're all handsome son of a bitches. Sean, what an honor to have you. We don't ever see your face in the bottom corner, and it's great to see you.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate the invite.
Absolutely. Now, how are we going to kick this off? John, you want to tell everyone what the fuck's going on tonight?
Yeah, we'll get right to it. We got an extra mic here, so we might as well not dick around too much. Today, we're talking about the 1985 classic Commando. This is a movie about the character John Matrix, who is a retired special agent living a quiet life with his daughter until Bill Duke, David Patrick Kelly, and Vernon Wells decide to be assholes and fuck all that up and kidnap his daughter, force John Matrix out of retirement, and try to get him to overthrow a government of a made-up country or kill his daughter. You know, whatever comes first. And with that in mind, Justin, I'm going to turn it over to you. You drew cast and crew for this one. So who's all up and about in this movie?
Well, you already mentioned a few, but let's start with the director, Mr. Mark L. Lester. You may know him from Class of 1984, Firestarter. One of my favorite comedies from the 80s, Armed and Dangerous. Don't anybody give me shit for that.
Justin, I just want to check it. Did you say his name is Mark Lester?
That's right.
It's a terrible name. All right, go on.
Sure is. Not a terrible name is Arnold Schwarzenegger as John Matrix. Ray Dawn Chung, she's from Color Purple, Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. Vernon Wells is Bennett. You might know him as Wes in Mad Max 2 or even Lord General in Weird Science. We have a pre-Who's the Boss and Charmed Alyssa Milano here. We have the always incredible David Patrick Kelly as Sully, best maybe known for playing Luther in The Warriors, as well as T-Bird in The Crow. He's also great in 48 Hours and Wild at Heart. That's some of the main cast. You mentioned some of the others, but we'll stop there.
What about a small little actor named, I don't know, fucking Bill Paxton, who I never fucking realized with this movie until I watch it this time around.
Bill Paxton forgets that he's in this movie. That's how much screen time he has in this one.
Yeah,
So
he sure does.
He has a hard time remembering anything right now.
Hey.
yeah, he's slightly handicapped by death at the moment. So
That'll do it.
as we break into this one, Greg, this whole series is all based around movies that you haven't seen. So I got to ask, and I know everyone else is thinking this, how the fuck have you gotten through puberty without seeing Commando?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I've seen Lionheart. I've seen
Great.
the Predator, but I haven't watched a ton of like action movies. Like action movies kind of went over my head a little bit. So
Why? How?
I don't know.
Lionheart? You bring up Lionheart?
Well, I was thinking, Jean-Claude Van Damme and Steven Seagal and Arnold and fucking...
What's Seagal do? I want to know this because this is kind of a rabbit hole that, like, at least a good percentage of this podcast right now really likes hating on Steven Seagal.
I wasn't hating on Steven Seagal. I saw
Have you seen Kill
that.
Switch? Have you seen Kill Switch?
No.
We need to fix that.
I've seen Under Siege 1 and 2.
Well, that's good. He does knife Tommy Lee Jones in the head in the first one, so that's good.
Yeah, and he cooks that cake. He talks about how like great this cake's gonna be, and he like throws it in the microwave.
Yeah, but I mean that doesn't compare to the cake in Raw Deal, which I'm guessing you haven't seen that. So
I have not seen Raw Deal. I don't know. There was something about. I've seen Rambo. I've seen a couple Stallone movies.
I don't even believe you. I don't even believe you've seen Rambo. Tell me you've seen Rambo. What's your favorite part?
I like it when he rides.
You've never seen Rambo!
I like it when he's in the shower and they're like,
somebody let Seamus in.
They're greasing him up a little bit in the shower, and then the motorcycle chase. He goes in the woods, and Brian Dennehy. What's up? I've seen Gladiator too, the boxing movie.
So
forehead is the hardest part of the body.
So now we know the forehead's the hardest part of the body, and that's a good place to pivot into what we like and what we don't like about this movie. We can go either way with it. Sean, this is your first time on this show. I think this is your first time on this show altogether, isn't it?
Yep, it is.
So why don't you open this up with this one? What are some things you like or dislike? Tell us something positive or not about Commando in your opinion.
I mean, what is there to say that's negative? Honestly, I like the whole movie.
And that's it for us, folks. Have a great
night. Podcast over.
Cool. Do you have a little sounder we can hit to end the show?
In Crust.
I mean, I could just summarize the whole movie. I could give you the whole thing. Everything about it's great. There's not a bad thing. There's not a bad part. The whole thing's great.
How about you, Justin? Is there anything specific you'd like to point out? Maybe a little more narrow view than the entire movie?
Listen, Sean's not wrong, so I'm not going to dispute that. But I'll start by saying I put bullet points, obviously. So let me start with this. I love that it does not waste time. It gets right into the action right away. We get this silly and fun little short montage to show us Arnie and Alyssa together, eating ice cream. She's smashing it into his face. That's great. We get them petting a deer for some fucking reason, playing in a swimming pool. There's some hokey, goofy shit. And then from there, fucking full action. They're taking the daughter. It's great. So, yeah, I'm going to start with that. There's a couple other things I have to say, but right then and there, I love that it just gets right into it. No fuss, no muss.
Can I add a like?
You can.
Of course.
Okay. 2 words. Steel drum.
That's
Steel drums throughout the entire movie.
I am so glad that you brought that up because it is the most batshit insane. Like the steel drum and the saxophonist and then the synthesizer is fucking insane in this movie. And it really sets a pace. All right.
It definitely lays a tone for sure. Ryan, how about you? What are some things that you like or don't like about this one?
All right, look, so there was like a holy trinity of movies I had, but it was bigger than a trinity. And it was like fucking Conan, Rambo 2, and Commando were my favorite movies.
This man went through puberty, unlike Greg.
Yeah.
I was so into that shit. My mom got me the Commando dress-up set for Christmas one year and a Commando action figure, which had little grenades that went on his vest, and it was dope as shit. It's pure adrenaline fuel. I'm going to say right off the top that I cook for a living, and so I know a bunch of other cooks. Radon Chong, resident of Portsmouth, New Hampshire. From what I hear, entitled bitch. So that was upsetting. Because she had such a strong, pivotal role in this movie, and she learned how to fire a rocket launcher just by reading the instruction manual. I love this shit.
Learn how to fire it incorrectly at first, but hey, whatever works. So,
well, you didn't have the streetwise children from the hit film Falling Down to help her show how to do it correctly.
She was also in Tales from the Dark Side. Remember that, Ryan? How I always confused that movie with something else, but I know she was the demon lady.
Wouldn't tell.
Yeah. I've seen that.
Yeah, that shit was dope. I remember that fondly.
Yeah.
Greg, have you seen Falling Down? Because if not, that's going on this list too.
Oh, of course I have.
Okay.
He says, of course I have, like he's seen all these movies.
I was going to say, that's not I'm actually kind of shocked by this. So.
I worked at Blockbuster. I wouldn't consider Falling Down an action movie, though. Would you?
I didn't. Well, it's got moments, but it's...
Yeah, of course.
Regardless.
I can confirm that Greg watched Falling Down.
I love Bobby Duvall. He's the shit.
I'm guessing Ryan tied you to a chair and held your eyes open a la Clockwork Orange and made you watch Falling Down?
Listen, I worked at Blockbuster. I've seen so many movies. I was a bit of a movie head. I just kind of avoided action movies and horror movies.
And everything from the 80s and 90s, apparently.
Yeah.
I've seen every Adam Sandler movie.
Twice. Big Daddy? Doesn't get better than that.
All right. Well, before we get to you, Big Daddy, I'm going to say one of my favorite things about this movie is by far Bill fucking Duke. Like, he's one of those underrated, like when he pops up, he just controls the screen. He's a steam sealer and he's so just cold and violent in this movie. I fucking love him. The only thing I would say that's a negative with him is that he dies too early in the movie. I would have loved to have seen him come back around for another, brawl with Arnold or whoever he did. I don't really care who. I just want more Bill Duke in every movie that he's in. So that would be one of my big positives with it. We'll do another round with everyone else. But Greg, how about you? Why don't you unload on Commando? Let us know some of your opinions on this after your first watch.
Yeah, first off, I love the opening montage. It was just silly and great. The quotes, the one-liners in this movie were awesome. I knew right when I heard, now why don't they just call him Girl George? They'll cut down on the confusion, I think. Like, I was like, all right, I'm in. Like, I knew I was in after that line. It was hilarious to me. Every one-liner was hilarious. Don't disturb my friend. He's dead tired. Like it was just good shit. And it was just, it was a wild movie. I got to say, I'm going to cat out of the bag. This was probably the most fun I've had in the series so far.
That doesn't surprise me, actually. This is a easy and fun movie to watch for sure.
Yeah.
Justin, how about you? I'm going to go out of order. What's another comment about this movie?
Yeah, I mean, I had some of the stuff you guys already mentioned. I think the one-liners are great. They're absolutely classic. I think killing the dude on the plane and the he's dead tired thing is amazing. But since you guys said all that, I mentioned him earlier. I really love David Patrick Kelly. I think there's just something about that dude's presence I always liked. And I'm a big fan of the Warriors and a big fan of the Crow. So always seeing him and knowing him from back then just always brings a smile to my face. But what I love about him in this movie is his attire and his sleaziness is so on point, which I really love. I also love that he's a really short guy. So when he's like next to a lot of these bigger dudes, he just looks that much smaller and it's just a lot of fun for me. So he's definitely a big plus for me. Now, I will say real quick, speaking of attire, Bennett's attire is fucking ridiculous. He literally looks like he was plucked from the Mad Max reject pile, and I know he was in that film, and I think that outfit was kind of part of that wardrobe from that movie, if I remember correctly, but it looks ridiculous compared to everything else.
I always call him Discount Freddie Mercury, but whatever.
Yeah.
Mad Max works too.
Because you said that, Discount Freddie Mercury, so right when I saw Bennett, I was like, there's Freddie Mercury. And I was confused a little bit at the beginning. I mean, you know, they're killing all his people, his platoon or whatever, and they fake kill off Bennett. But, like, how the hell did he get out of that? Like, he's in the boat, and then it explodes. Like, they don't show him jump off. It's like, yeah.
You know, the one thing they didn't say when he bought that chainmail vest, not pipe proof, unfortunately, you know?
Is it steam proof? Yes, it's steam proof, just not pipe proof.
I thought that was chainmail the whole time, and then today watching it, I was like, "That's just a net. That's just fabric."
I noticed that too. Yeah, I never noticed it before, and I think most of the time I seen this movie was on VHS, so you know you didn't have
the
that
magic of
clarity.
HD.
Yeah, like now with
actually
HD,
mithril.
it's like clearly not. It's not metal. It's insane.
Ryan, how about you? What else do you want to talk about in regard to Commando and its Commando-y glory?
Where else can you see a man body slam a telephone booth? Nowhere. Just in Commando. It was probably a full-size telephone. He just did it in real life at that point because he was just so hungry for being powerful. Dude, I just put together today, that guy was T-Bird, and it, like, made my day. That guy was the shit. I mean, he might be small, but his shoulder pads are not. He had a big presence for a little fella. And also, you know, this movie has the highest kill count, I think, out of almost any Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Somewhere between 81 and 108 deaths in this movie, estimated. So, I mean, they really give it to you. And I got mad love for this movie.
I feel like that might be factually incorrect, but I don't really want to argue it. Sean, how about you? You look like you were confused by that statement too. Do you want
I
to
would
shoot
think he
that down?
killed more people in Terminator. Like, I think a bunch of people die in Terminator. I don't know if the kill counts in any of this stuff, but it just seems.
I mean, there's like 80 cops just in Terminator 2, although he doesn't
And
kill him at that point. So,
well, that's T2, but Tech Noir, the whole Tech Noir club and Terminator,
Yeah.
almost all those people die. But
Also, big ups to that mall for having the largest police force out of any mall in the United States of America.
well, they have
It's
to deal
always
with
fun to
killer
see the Galleria.
robots, and you know they have to deal with zombie mutants at midnight on New Year's Eve. There's a lot of things that happen in the Galleria.
That was a pretty funny. That cop fight was ridiculous. They're all like piled on him. He's just like, ugh! He's like, they all just like fly off him.
I just love how it starts with the one cop on the walkie-talkie, like, one gigantic motherfucker, as he goes to start fighting. I'm like, you know this isn't go well. The guy's got, like, literally 200 pounds on you. So,
and that guy's like, ladies, you want to see me whoop some ass? It's like, yeah, okay, buddy.
Sean?
About things I like? Are we going to go back into that? Oh, okay.
You going to just say the whole movie again?
The whole movie wasn't specific enough for you? I love the opening where they show Arnold. You know, he's carrying the log. He's walking through the thing. It's the perfect way to set up that this guy is going to be your hero. And to go back to what Justin said earlier, the economy of the beginning of the movie, the economy of the script to not have to explain everything, and they tell you everything you need to know about John Matrix within seconds. And that lets us just get, on and running. There's no, we got to talk about the development of the character, and we got to talk about this. The guy loves his daughter. He loves his country. He's going to be this badass dude. He's huge. He's ripped. And I love the Bennett. Bennett's a great character, and he makes a comment to whatever the leader guy's name is, Arisa or whatever it is. Yeah. And he's like, me and Matrix, we could kill all these dudes. We could kill all these dudes. It wouldn't even be a problem. They're clueless. They just think that they're badasses, and they're talking about, trying to be tough guys. And Matrix, when he comes in, makes this show like he is playing Call of Duty as an MLG player versus like someone who's just picked up a controller. They see him coming from a mile away. They can't hit him for shit. And he just does some dolphin dive and like blows some dudes away. They have no idea. And meanwhile, Bennett, who says that he's just as good as Matrix, he's just this fat, like doughy piece of shit in his netted shirt. And he has no chance.
Yeah, he looked a little out of place.
I think he looked super horny.
He was a great villain, but he definitely looked out of place. Like, I figured Bill Duke was going to be, like, the guy.
Yeah.
Should have been. Well,
Bill Duke dies spectacularly.
Yes.
He has an awesome, memorable death that you will never forget. Who else gets impaled on a table leg?
They're like firing off gunshots in the hotel, and then they like knock into the next door, and this couple's like having sex. Like there's not like guns going off in the next room. It's crazy.
They got good insulation in that hotel, man. That's what all your like $7 is going towards is insulation, so that people can shoot each other in one room and bang in the next without disturbing each other. These things have to happen. We're living in a society, Greg. So. For me, one of the things I really like about this movie, too, this, to me, is where Arnold Schwarzenegger becomes the mega movie star. This is where he really embodies the, like, cheesy one-liners, embraces... I mean, I guess he did before, too, but I feel like it's more, like, G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, like the big muscle guy beating the shit out of the bad guys. Like Sean was saying, it's pretty clear from go in this movie that he is the hero and that's who you're rooting for through this whole thing. And I think this is the movie where he really hits that next level of movie star. And all the things that you hear people talk about with Arnold, whether it's the accent, the one-liners, the cheesy kills, the like carrying around oversized guns, the unstoppable action, all that feels like it's most rooted in this movie. And again, movies like, I don't remember if Raw Deal is before this or after this. It's right around this time. Conan, even Hercules in New York has some of that, but it never lands like it does in this movie. This movie just absolutely presents it in the most enjoyable and really easily watchable way that just translates really well to mega movie star.
Yeah, you really know he's like a special badass when he's like before they kidnap his daughter, and he's like, I could smell him downwind. And the guy's like, I couldn't smell him downwind.
Greg, how about you? What else? Or Ryan, whatever you're going to say here. So,
look, I just had a one-liner. If your name is John Matrix and you're not badass, you're doing something wrong anyway.
It's fair. So Greg, how about what else do you want to say about Commando?
Again, like I really liked the cast. The cast was fun. Like I said, like Sully, like all the one-liners of them, they were like so scared of him. I love. He's like, I like you, Sully. That's why I'm going to kill you last. Like, by the way, how many Arnold impressions are going to happen this episode?
I'm not doing any, so hopefully.
Okay. Well, I'm at least do 10 probably.
If I was going to do it, I'd do it now.
Cindy was ridiculous. I mean, these are all positives for me, by the way. Just when he's fighting Bill Duke in that room and she's talking about, like, oh my God, like all this red meat being eaten or whatever. She's like saying all these lines. These guys are so macho. Like, it's just so funny. And I love that he like unbuttons her shirt and she like just never buttons her shirt up the rest of the movie. She's like, I'm just hanging cleavage this whole time.
I mean, why wouldn't you hang cleave if you got it, want it? So
right from the jump, it starts off. They kidnap his daughter, and we're off to the races, and it's just fun action the whole time. It was just a really entertaining movie for me.
So, does anyone in this room have any critiques, nitpicks, or negatives in regard to this movie?
I would say my biggest nitpick would be when he rips out the seat. Then they're all just sitting on whatever's underneath the seat for the rest of the movie. And there's no way someone's not getting penetrated by a spring or some kind of coil or mechanism that's under there. Oh. And that's really it for me. That's the only thing that suspended my, belief for a minute. I was like, well, no one would sit on that for that long.
It's just, him and what's-her-face. And that's only until they flip over Sully's car and take that car. So it's only for one chase. You can deal with something up your ass for one car chase, Ryan.
Yeah, I could do it for a state run.
It's what you got to do, right?
The cars in this movie regenerate anyway. Sully's car is all fucked up, and then all of a sudden it's like completely fixed. So I'm sure that seat grew back somehow. I mean, the rocket launcher scene was a small nitpick for me. I mean, it was funny, but she could have fucking killed everybody, including Matrix. But she's just like, yeah, fuck it. I'm just going to fire this rocket launcher off. And just at the very end.
If that's a nitpick for you, I can't wait till we really get down the well on action movies, because explosions like that in some of these movies are like a dime a dozen. They pay it off in this movie a little bit better, like almost classier, for lack of better wording. But Sean and I have brought this movie up countless times. Like, we need to get you to watch a movie like Nightmare at Noon, which is nothing but explosions for no apparent fucking reason.
Oh, I like explosions. I just thought it was a poor choice that you could easily kill him while trying to save him,
Yeah, Yeah, but I listen. I think that's what is part of the charm of this movie. I think that's what makes it fun. I think the pimples is what makes it beautiful, in my opinion. So
No,
for
I
me,
agree.
real quick, I don't have any like negatives. So instead, I brought a couple fun facts. One of which I'll save for later, but I'll do this now because before I do that, much like Sean, like this movie is what it is, but I love it for what it is. And movies like this are doing it absolutely perfect. So nitpicks or nothing. I got nothing. So instead, I wanted to bring a fun fact I found. So there's supposedly a deleted love scene between Arnie and Ray Dawn Chung, and it was filmed but then cut for being unconvincing. And
Gee, I wonder why.
what I found funny about that is I feel like all Arnie love scenes are unconvincing for some reason. And I don't know why. I don't know what it is about him, but he's one of the most awkward son of a bitches I've ever seen. Does that track? Does anyone agree with that?
I mean, unless it's the housekeeper, I don't think it's going to be very convincing.
Hey.
Yeah, and I would have liked to seen that scene just because she is, I mean, more so than Sully, she is so dramatically smaller than him. Like, there's no way this would logistically work outside of a porno movie. But the fact that they tried to do it, it almost would have added a level of comedy to the movie. Not that this movie doesn't have plenty to laugh at already, but it would have been a pretty entertaining, like, 30-second throwaway scene to laugh at.
I mean, Arnold doesn't make love; he fucks.
Well, it's also be funny because they have an 11-hour countdown from basically the start of this movie. Let's stop to fuck for 15 minutes. And,
Yeah. Fuck my daughter.
so.
Well, I didn't mean that. Maybe during Embrace of the Vampire, which I have seen.
Oh, that took a turn. Ryan, Sean, any nitpicks, any critiques?
I'd have to go pretty deep to come up with something that I was like, I think, okay, I'll come up. This is one thing. I feel like basically from the point where we have again, Army surplus raid, only in the 80s could you go into an Army surplus store and find grenades and rocket launchers, like fully loaded, no problem getting all that stuff. I feel like basically from the time when they escape, when the rocket launcher gets shot at the cop car and he escapes, up until they get in the airplane, I always forget that even happens. It's like, it's not insignificant, but it's like so forgettable because there's so much other awesome stuff that happens in this movie that piece is so it can be so easily downplayed that you can almost forget that it happens. I had to remember, like, okay, I remember this, like I had to play mental inventory in my head until I could get to that part and be like, oh yeah, that does happen. Okay, cool. I wondered where I was missing gaps. That's what it is. And I've seen this movie like 50 times easily.
You got to, I guess a small nitpick would be like, Ray Dawn Chong in the beginning of the movie gets kidnapped. She witnesses like a mass murder. She gets in a high-speed car chase. And all she has to say is, it's not my day.
Yeah.
She's, she really got over the trauma, which would ruin most people very quickly. And you really got to commend her for that strength that she somehow drew upon.
She knows she's going to get dicked down later, man, even if they cut the scene.
Well,
not deleted.
You got to have something to work for.
Yeah. So. And my small nitpicks, again, this movie was fun. It's like more like nitpicks like Sleepaway Camp. I know it wasn't cheesy like Sleepaway Camp. I mean, it had some pretty 80s action cheese.
It's different kind of cheese.
Yes, yeah. But I had fun with those, so I'm not like, they weren't like negatives necessarily. They're just small little nitpicks that, if Greg had the director hat on, he would maybe change a few things. But
if I was going to nitpick anything in this, I think it's kind of ridiculous that Cindy not only flies the plane, but goes to this island of this made up like country with him at the end, because we've already established that Arnie is this special forces, like master of fucking everything except not killing people. So it would have been just as believable for me that Arnold just takes the plane and goes to the final fight and leaves her there where she's presumably not going to be murdered, as opposed to dragging her along just to have her sit on the boat until he comes back. It's, again, a minor nitpick because it's all of like 60 seconds. He has to get to the other country either way. So why do I care? I really don't. But it seems kind of just as, if not more believable, that Arnold could just taxi himself to this other country without getting her in more danger if he's really concerned about her. But whatever, she can go along for the ride and sit on the plane until he comes back. That's fine.
They also don't check the fuel situation either. They just get into this plane like, yeah, we're going to another country. Hopefully it's good.
I noticed that when they took Bill Duke's car this time, we're like, I wonder how much gas is in his car. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that's running around with a full tank all the time. And half the cars are stolen at one point or another. Like, he steals that Oldsmobile, whatever, to start the movie. They steal Sully's car. He steals Cindy's car. I don't know where the blue Cadillac comes from, but I can only assume that Bill Duke stole it at some point. So
Bill Duke only
cars
drives
are
Cadillac.
I thought it was an Oldsmobile that he took out of the showroom. Was it a Caddy?
Yeah, he was like, I only drive Cadillacs. Or the guy's like, Cadillac,
Okay.
great choice, or something like that. Yeah. It's like a shitty Cadillac, but it's a Cadillac.
I feel like that guy was still living too. He just kind of like taps him through the glass, and all of a sudden he's like on the ground, like crippled, like
I'm not getting up.
yeah,
This shit sucks.
he was faking his death so he could, escape the. Because I'm assuming he was part of Matrix's team that they were taking out, or was he just the?
Presumably.
Yeah. Okay.
I've never gotten into the backstory that much. I think the idea is that they were all part of his team at some point, and they're all coming back to get him. But whatever. Does anyone else have anything they want to pepper in before we hear about some audience responses on this one?
I got a quick thing. So it's 11 hours, right? He sets his little Casio to 11 hours, and we have the timer. How long does it take that flight to leave wherever it is and get to the island? In comparison to how much, like, the dead guy gets taken off the plane on a stretcher, and those two goons from Valverde or whatever are there. How much time does that take for them to get there when Arnold and Radon Chung go through the ringer to get to the airplane to fly there, and he rows there on a boat, and the plane still lands ahead of them? Or, I'm sorry, it lands after they get there. So, like, how long is that flight? What took so long to get there?
Yeah, a couple layovers.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Something. They let that guy sleep the whole time too.
Yeah, he's dead tired. Let him sleep.
Yeah, I just want to say, too,
Arnold-
when he sets the Casio watch, it starts beeping. Does it ever stop beeping? Because if you're going to stealth kill guys, I can't imagine your beeping watch is going to be good.
Sean, to answer your question, Arnold gets there first because he's propelled by the power of a skin-tight Speedo. He's aerodynamic.
I thought you were going to say the power of Christ compels him.
No, that'd be End of Days. That's a whole different shitty movie. So
Saw that in the theater.
way shittier than this. So, all right. So let's get some other opinions on this one. Justin, let's start with you. You said you had some Letterboxd reviews that you wanted to bring on for this. So let's go there, and then we can hear what audience members said in polling over the last 3 months leading up to this.
Let's do it. All right. Over on Letterboxd, we get somebody with the name 0 Point Energy gives it a half star and says, "What a shit movie. Loved it." Okay, so I think he or she's being cheeky here, but how can you love something and then give it a half star? Fucking stop. Let's get to the next person. David,
you clearly haven't seen The Freeway Maniac, have you?
I guess not. David Growl, whatever the hell this name is, 1 star rating says, "I am truly sorry, yet proud of willpower." So if you're going to sign up for an account on Letterboxd and take time to log a review, how about fucking saying something? Go away. That's it. You guys go.
That was David Grohl from the Foo Fighters.
Fighters.
Foo Fighters. We got some Instagram reaction from Spud McKenzie. He gave it a 6 out of 8. He said it's good. And this is, of course, from the world famous Crustometer. Or we could say 6 out of 8 biceps. To Be or Not to Be Movies gave it an 8 out of 8. I won't accept anything less. Kate from Down Under.
Oi.
From Down Under.
I said fucking oi.
She said she's only seen it once. And she said, "This is the one with the girl from Who's the Boss, right?" 5 out of 8.
That's like a Letterboxd review.
Yeah. My boy Lionel gave it a 6 out of 8. Sean, Brother Rogers, gave it a 7 out of 8 for nostalgia. And BP from Let's Talk Horror Channel gave it an 8 out of 8. And he said, "Ooh la la."
Shit.
Because he said when they drop Sully, that's what he says.
Hey, more or less.
Not enough British accents.
Yeah. And that the nostalgist said classic. All right, the MC Type. Check out our interview with MC Type and Billy the Fridge. He said
All right.
4.5 out of 8. Not a big fan, I don't think. He's more of a Duck fan. He
No,
likes
no
Duck.
follow up on that. He has no follow up as to why it's only a
He
4.5.
just said 4.5. And finally, Scott from the You Run podcast, the leader of the network, says, one of my favorites, 7 out of 8. Biceps. I had
Oi.
that last part of there.
Pip, pip.
Cheerio.
So that brings us to the part where we're going to kind of change some things with this, and where we can either, this is stealing from Justin's show, let's be real, we're either going to add a character, add a person into this movie, or replace someone in this movie altogether, however you want to do it. Justin, let's start with you. Is there anyone in this that you want to either Wally Pipp and put him on the bench, or just drop someone in there to add a different angle to this movie?
Yes, sir. And this is where I'm going to throw in that fun fact. So I read that Gene Simmons was initially considered for this movie, and then Nick Nolte. Can you imagine either one of those guys as the lead in Commando? I don't think we would have the same appreciation.
I would have loved it.
Who was Gene Simmons going to be? The guy on the plane?
Same hair.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have a real soft spot for shitty Gene Simmons movies. It's kind of one of my things. I blame Sean for this. So it would not be better. I'm not going to say that, but if Gene Simmons made some kind of Commando knockoff, if I still went to theaters, I'd be there on day one for it. So,
gotcha. Not a Gene Simmons fan, but I'll let that lie. Let me get you to mine. So I decided Dan Hedaya, I think is his name. He's the dad from Clueless. He has a terrible accent in this movie. Let's get him out and let's put Dick Miller in. Can you imagine him playing a head bad guy in an 80s flick? I would love it. Put him in.
all for it. So.
Figured you would be.
Sean, do you have anyone that you want to supplant or add to this movie?
I mean, why mess with perfection? The only one I could see now is Gene Simmons instead of Arnold. That's the only thing I can think of.
All right, fair enough. How about you, Ryan?
Well, now knowing what I know about Ray Dong Chong, she can fucking go. I don't give a shit. She brought the world Chris Pratt, I guess. Now he's an asshole, so, we could replace her with really anybody. A log, Danny DeVito. I'm cool with any of that.
Danny DeVito.
I would like to see Danny DeVito in her role as a young female, whatever she is. That'd be kind of fun.
I would love that too, yeah. And don't delete that love scene.
It's the same guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Twins 2, the Commandoverse. Greg, I'll let you go last on this, but for me, I can't replace anyone in this. I like pretty much everyone the way they are. If I were going to do anything to change this movie, I would drop Carl Weathers in as like a bit part. I always liked him opposite of Arnold in Predator, so seeing him as not necessarily like a buddy that's with him all the time, but have him be the like, I don't know, have him be maybe
Paxton.
General Kirby or Bill Paxton. Yeah, sure, Bill Paxton. Just somewhere in there where you get Carl Weathers doing Carl Weathers things across from Arnold. Anytime those two were on screen together, it's always great. So you do another bicep, like high five, whatever they want to do. That would be who I would add to this is Carl Weathers.
Maybe he could just bob behind them when they're swimming in the early montage. That'd be fun.
Yeah, sure. That'd be fine. So
could we just throw in Jesse the Body Ventura as well? I mean, we might as fucking
let's put all of Predator in there. Let's put anyone who was in Predator, just go ahead and ram them in here. Why not? So
I want
Except for maybe
Predator.
Shane Black.
Shane Black.
I want Predator to replace Ray Don Chong. Now that I think about it,
I'd like to see that love scene. You'd leave that in. You definitely leave that in.
especially if he calls him an ugly motherfucker.
Yes.
John, did you notice that there was a special appearance by Branscombe Richmond, our hot dog guy?
I did not.
Yeah,
I did
he
not.
Gets, like thrown around real early. I noticed. I was like, oh shit, that guy's in there.
So, Greg, how about you? Who are you dropping into this or replacing?
All right, let me just say that I'm just following protocol here. I don't think anybody needs to be replaced. I was having some fun. I know you guys are going to yell at me probably for my picks. But I went with either Chris Hemsworth or John Cena as Matrix.
Oh,
You just pissed John
Uh,
off. He quits the sub series.
It's the
Okay.
worst day ever.
I had
I can't even see that as an option.
Benicio del Toro or dug up Freddie Mercury as Bennett.
Okay. I do like Benicio del Toro, so I'm not going to yell at you about that one.
Okay.
So,
Sadie Sink as Jenny. Jenny. Can I say, I played, Justin, I thought about you this weekend. I played a gig this weekend, and it was a very conservative bar. They had Forrest Gump on in the background, and it ran 3 times in a row. It literally
ever
went
play that
3
fucking
times
bar
in
again.
a row. It was a great time.
Fucking hell.
Mad Mickelson as Arius, or whatever his name is. Mad Mickelson? No?
Doing
Yeah?
his best Indian accent,
Yeah.
like whatever his name is from Clueless in this movie.
Is it Joe Carey, Steve Harrington from Stranger Things as Sully?
I thought you were going towards Steve Perry, but that's a totally different direction.
You're just picking Stranger Things cast now?
I put 2 people in there.
What the
And Winona Ryder. No. Bokeem Woodbine as Cook.
Greg, you went too far down this rabbit hole.
What is happening right now?
I was just trying to have some
You
fun.
could have picked one person, man.
So
I did the whole cast. And then obviously Ray Dong Chong, whatever her name is, keep her in. She was excellent. She was that gargoyle in Tales from the Dark Side. I love that movie.
promised you wouldn't tell.
I thought you guys liked Chris Hemsworth and John Cena. No.
Wow.
Great picks.
Commando.
Sean, you asked if you could yell at Greg. Now's your chance. So,
I would see that movie.
I don't know if that's saying a lot, but here we are. So
I watch a lot of shit.
I'm aware. So this went quicker than I thought it was going to, especially with the extra people in here, but we kind of rapid fired through this. That's kind of the downside about talking about a movie that's actually really good. It's hard to talk too much shit about it. So this brings us to the part at the end where we kind of talk about how this holds up. Usually Justin and I will kind of start on this. So Justin, I'll open the floor up to you. How do you, does Commando hold up? Does it meet the expectations as to why we're forcing Greg to watch these amazing movies that he skipped for way too long? And what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I would say if you're looking at 80s action, and there is so much in that genre from that decade specifically, but I think this movie has to be in your top 5 as far as ones you have to see. And I don't think you should skip any of them in action cinema from this decade. But having said that, I think this might be the first Arnie flick I seen at the age of 6, and I was hooked right away. I had to see all of them at that point, even going back and seeing the Terminator, and all that stuff. So it's an absolute classic. I think it's pure 80s cheese action cinema. It's solid entertainment from start to finish. You can shut your brain off. You can grab a beer and a pizza and have a great fucking time with it. I think it's one of the best examples of this genre from this era. It doesn't waste time, like I said earlier, with typical musical montages or any of that cliche we get in Stallone, any of the bullshit we get in some of the Van Damme flicks of the era. I think this is just like the perfect example of it. A lot like this, if you're going to introduce somebody to something like Greg not seeing a lot of this stuff, this is a perfect place to start for action cinema. 7 out of 8 for me. It's not perfect, but and there's plenty of movies from the era that I'd rather watch, a lot of them being horror, but this fucking movie's fun all the time. When I rewatched it, and it was the first rewatch for me in a while. And it might have been the first time I watched it with my wife, and we've been married now for 20 years. It's just not something she's ever watched with me. This would be one when I'm down in the basement here in the studio that I would pop on the TV while I'm hanging out down here and just do other stuff and watch, Commando again. So she even had a good time watching it with me, and I think that says a lot. So yeah, 7 out of 8, great film, highly recommend.
So I'm going to go out of order and say, Ryan, why don't you go ahead and let us know your final thoughts on Commando?
I mean, look, this was the movie that shaped me to become the man I am today. All right. No, I didn't go the military special ops route. I just turned into a fat dude. But this movie fucking holds up like a motherfucker. I used to pretend I was Commando when I was a kid. I'd run in the woods. I'd paint my face. I'd destroy imaginary bad guys. And going back and watching it today, I was transported back to my childhood and remembered why I loved it so much. The montage of him getting ready to go on this fucking island and kill like 100-something guys is one of the best montages ever. Like he's strapping all that shit on, painting his face, getting the vest on, grenades, clink, clink, ready to go. I love when they spoof it in the Hot Shots Part 2. When he's putting all the weapons on, he has so much shit he just falls over. Fantastic stuff. 7 out of 8 Crust all day. Big love for motherfucking Commando.
Sean?
I mean, what can be said that hasn't already been said? This movie is timeless. The only thing that sets this apart from a current day movie is that they don't have cell phones. There's not as much communication. Other than that, you could set this in today, the present, and have the same movie, and it's going to be just as good. I mean, what else is there to say? I was also very influenced by this movie as a kid. I don't think this is the first Arnie movie that I had seen, but I know it was an early one. And you know, when I saw that there was a Commando game for NES and it wasn't about this movie, I was really sad. So I don't know, man. 8 out of 8, the perfect movie for me. It's not, again, not without its faults, and not to mean that an 8 out of 8, a perfect movie, isn't going to have some kind of problem with it, but you could pick apart anything as much as you want to. You know, it's not impossible to say like, oh, well, could have done this, could have done that. Well, yeah, could have done this, could have done that. But you know what? It's a great movie. Just like everybody else has said, to turn on. You don't have to think about it. You can follow it. You can pick it up at any point. If you've already seen it, like if you've never seen it, don't pick it up from the middle and be like, man, what's all these people talking about Commando for? I mean, who's talking about Commando, honestly? But because everybody's seen it. Like, I can't believe someone wouldn't have seen it. But yeah, I think if you've seen it before, you could pick it up at any point and just watch it and be like, it's like a Goodfellas. It's like a Shawshank for me. You know, you could just sit down and be entertained by it. It's not something you have to think too hard about. So that's a perfect movie for me.
So I'm right there on the same page with everyone. This is one of those movies that, you know, whenever this movie comes up, I inevitably will hear someone say that it is not only a perfect movie, but the best action movie of its decade. And it's one of the only movies that gets that label thrown on it that I don't have an immediate argument against. Like, there might be other action movies I like more depending on my day or my mood, but it's pretty fucking hard to knock this movie down from its pedestal. It does everything right. It's a very simple story executed perfectly. It's entertaining from top to bottom. Arnold's amazing in it. I don't know if this is the first movie that I saw Arnold in either, but it's definitely the one that made me fall in love with his movies. So yeah, and much like Ryan, I also was influenced by it and became a fat guy later in life. So it's a solid, I don't know if I would call it 7 or 8. I'll go ahead and say it's an 8 out of 8 for me too. It's a damn near perfect movie, and I really don't have much of anything negative to say. And with that, Greg, bring us home. Let us know how you feel about it after finally popping your cherry and watching Commando.
So, like I said,
end review.
This movie was the most fun I've had doing this series. Sleepaway Camp was a lot of fun, and it was wild for other reasons. I have seen some action movies, but again, action movies and horror movies aren't necessarily at the top of my list for genres. They should be, I suppose, because I had a lot of fun with this movie. Right from the jump, like Justin said, kind of lays out the story easily, very simply. You don't have to pay attention too much. Shows you he's a badass. They kidnap his daughter, and we're off to the races. Probably some of the best one-liners I've ever heard in any movies. The one-liners were hilarious. My likes are probably like 35 one-liners. I just wasn't going to like read them all off, but like they were all there. Yeah, like the montage with him getting ready to kick some ass against 1,000 people and not get hit by one bullet. I loved it. So many actors that I've seen that, you know, I hadn't seen so early on, like whether it's the guy with the hairy shoulders from Alien Resurrection, which is the main villain, not named Bennett. And Bennett was a little ridiculous, but it just worked. It just felt like perfect 80s cheese. And yeah, everything about this movie. I really had a fun time with this movie, and I gotta say, it's an 8 out of 8 for me.
All right. Well, that settles it. It sounds like Greg finally saw a movie that he likes. It's about damn time.
I've liked every movie I've seen so far. I mean, I would say Jack Frost.
Even Jack Frost?
I did like Jack Frost. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous, but I mean, it's obviously lower on the scale. Sleepaway Camp was cheesy. Jack Frost was cheesy, but in the whole fucking other way. I mean, Jack Frost, the acting was. I guess the acting was pretty bad in Sleepaway Camp as well too. But it was just I don't know. Sleepaway Camp was more of a fun movie than Jack Frost. But I did like it. I liked Halloween. But this was awesome. I started lifting weights a little bit, like right when I saw it. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start working out, eat more protein, less sugar.
Grew that mustache from this morning.
Yeah, I did. I steamed my face a little bit, and then it just all my hair fell off and shaped this perfect mustache. So here I am.
All right. Well, next month we're going to be going back to the well. We're going to be a little bit somewhere in between Jack Frost and Halloween in the realm of horror movies. So as a little teaser, we're going to be talking about the movie Pumpkinhead next month. So stay tuned for that. Greg, Ryan, whoever wants to wrap us up and get us the hell out of here. This is your show, not my show. Go ahead and finish us off.
Well, I just want to say real quick, Justin, you want to give your show a plug and what you got coming up next?
We're still doing that. Like John and I have been on here a lot, but that's okay.
You can push some episodes that are coming up next that are releasing soon.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I'm just kidding, but John and I have been here quite a bit, so I'm hoping that people probably know who we are by now. But yeah, Pop Culture Reflections, some similar stuff coming up this year as far as movie reviews, pro wrestling, still covering music, and television as well. But I do have some more fun interviews coming up with musicians, which I'm really starting to push more of that out because it's a lot of fun for me. And it's something I like to do, supporting independent artists. So be on the lookout for that. A lot of new fun guests coming on as well, but also some returning guests, maybe even a couple of the people here. So be on the lookout for that as well. I do have the new sub series with Kate from Down Under. Ryan.
Oi.
Thank you.
Oi, oi, oi.
It's called Why We Love, where we kind of break down things a little deeper about a specific thing that we love in pop culture. So be on the lookout for that as well. And like I said, a lot of other great stuff that you're used to coming up on the show.
Dewey Pod-Monster, what do you guys got coming up next for the future?
I don't know when this is coming out, but the next couple of weeks we have some real garbage coming up for you. We have already in the can. I bought a vampire motorcycle and the Freeway Maniac on deck. So those will be coming out over the next couple weeks. And there's also 2 Friday the 13th coming up. So you can we'll be sure to, keep up with that nonsense because apparently we have 12 of those movies. So we only have 7 more to go, something like that. And if you're in the Detroit area and listening to this, we do movie nights at Batch Brewing in Corktown down in Detroit. Please come out and watch a shitty movie with us, get drunk, and have someone else drive you home.
Who's gonna drive you home?
Can I make a quick
tonight?
request?
I'll grant it.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys have done Jason Takes Manhattan yet, correct?
It is going to be in March because we're on 7 next month.
That's
so
what I
8
thought.
will be the one after that.
That's what I thought. I'm just going to make a request. I might be one of the biggest Jason Takes Manhattan fans around, so just keep that in mind. I'm just going to plant that seed.
I know 2, but that's fine. You are the only person who sat in on a Friday the 13th show so far, so
which I appreciate. Thank you.
I don't see any reason why you can't come back. But there's another person who I might bring back as well. But we could open it up. We'll see.
Yeah, we got Bone Tomahawk coming up soon, as well as a little Simpsons side character bracket episode, which I'm very excited for.
And I'm just dope as fuck all the time. I
agree.
I started growing my hair out a little bit, and then my wife's like, "You look like that guy now." And I was like, "What guy?" She's like, "That guy from that show. They live in like Brooklyn, I think, something Queens." So my wife told me I look like Kevin James the other night, and my ego's gone. It's whatever ego I had gone. I'm Paul
you do kind of
Blart
look
from
like
here
Kevin
on
James.
out. Fuck Kevin James. Nobody finds him attractive.
He's bald
over.
now.
Fuck.
He also doesn't have a beard because he's a bitch.
Have you seen Becky? He's got a beard in that, I guess. Anyways,
Does he?
I want to thank you all for listening. You're all beautiful, beautiful people, and I'm Paul Blart. We represent the You Run podcast, the Wu-Tang clan of podcast networks. Find Dewey motherfucking Pod-Monster there. Find motherfucking J-Pop from fucking Pop Culture Reflections there. Find the Girl in the Gay podcast. You run true crime. You run horror movies. There's so many fucking podcasts. Everyone's got a podcast. Greg?
Yeah, and you can find us on Spotify, Apple Pod, YouTube. If you want to donate to the Patreon for just $1, you can get episodes just like this.
I thought you were going to ask if you want to date me. I was all excited to date you.
If you want to date me, tough
Got
shit.
any money?
I'm Liam Neeson. I'm taken.
Want to date? Got any money?
Looking for some action?
Pumpkinhead coming up. Can't wait. I'm very excited to see that movie. I almost watched it the other
Hillbilly
night.
Alien.
It's on Tubi. I've been enjoying Tubi. Thank you, John.
Tubi's great.
It is.
I told you about Tubi like 3 years ago, and you guys are always like, what the fuck's Tubi? It's like, it's the best place to watch terrible movies.
Is somebody talking?
You're a bad friend. Well, anyways, we're going to thank you all for listening, and we're going to take it out by saying in Crust we trust. So if everyone wants to join in, it'll be magical and fun, so do the thing. Ready? Here we go. In Crust,
Us.
we trust.